Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to study asymptotic analysis. This video gives you just the introduction to asymptotic analysis. See, if we consider nth order differential equation, the general solution for this differential equation, if we have y as our dependent variable and x as our independent variable, the general solution of y of x. The general solution y of x should be determined. We have to find the general solution y of x for the differential equation. We have to find using initial conditions or boundary conditions. Using the given initial conditions or boundary conditions. These conditions we also known as constant of integration. So this initial conditions and boundary conditions will be specified in many ways. Suppose if it is our initial value problem. In initial value problem, the conditions are defined at only one point. If the point is x0. x0 is a point. We are having nth order differential equation. So we require n conditions. And if all the n conditions are defined at only one point x0. So y of x0 is some constant. I'll take it as a0. Y dash of x0 is some other constant y a1, and this is our first condition, second condition, etc. We have to differentiate the n minus 1 of x0 is an minus 1. This is our nth condition. See, all the n conditions are defined at one point x0 and a0, a1, a2, etc. an minus 1 are given known constants. So using these conditions, we can solve the nth order differential equation and we will find the general solution y of x. This is one way of finding the solution. If it is boundary value problem, then the conditions need not be specified at only one point. In boundary value problem, the conditions will be specified at more than one point. It is specified at many points. So, to find general solution of nth order differential equation, we have initial value problem or boundary value problems. Initial conditions or boundary conditions. If we have initial conditions, then we say it is an initial value problem. If we have conditions defined at more than one place, then we call it as boundary value problem. If the solution exists for nth order differential equation, again using initial value problem and boundary value problem, it provides two types of analysis. We can analyze the problem in two different ways. One is local analysis. The local analysis is, we got the solution. We are analyzing the solution in the neighborhood of the points. In which the results are valid. See, if it is defined at x0, in local analysis, we are investigating the solution in the neighborhood of x0. So, if this neighborhood is sufficiently small, very small, then we will go for global analysis. In some cases, it will be difficult to attempt the solutions for entire region. In local analysis, we are analyzing the solution which is neighborhood to the point in which the solution is valid. In global analysis, we will analyze the solution for entire region. Suppose if we consider Taylor series. So we know the Taylor series. So our Taylor series expansion is y of x is y naught. Y naught means y of x naught plus x minus x naught into y dash of x naught plus x minus x naught whole square by 2 factorial y double dash of x naught, etc. This is our Taylor series. We have noticed that this is defined at only one point. It is an initial value problem, and this result comes under initial value problem subjected to local analysis. So once we get the solution for initial value problems, then we have to generalize the solution, or we have to consider the global properties of the solution. It must valid to entire region. It means we have to find a region, find an interval containing x naught. We have to find a region containing x naught for which this local solution is valid. Then, so if it is initial value problem, we will describe at one point. Then we have to extend the solution for some region which contains x naught. Suppose if it is boundary value problem, it inherently global and the solutions are valid for entire region. Whatever boundary values we are having, see, boundary values means it will be described on x naught or x1 or x2, etc. Obviously the solution which we got is valid for the region which contains this point. The global analysis for linear boundary value problem is little easy when we compare to non-linear boundary value problems. For example, if we consider a linear differential equation y dash equal to xy plus 1. I am first order, so only one condition is enough. So our x naught is 0 here. This equation we can find the solution y dash minus xy equal to 1. This is our linear equation of the form, or we call it as Leibniz equation. So this is of the form y dash plus p of x into y is equal to q of x. Right? Here p of x is minus x, q of x is 1. So we have to find integrating factor for this. So what is our IF? Using the formula e power integral of p of x dx. So what is integral of p of x? P of x is minus x. P of x is coefficient of y. Coefficient of y is minus x. So minus x. So we will get e power minus x square by 2. So this is our integrating factor. Now we have to find the general solution. General solution is y into IF is equal to integral of q into IF dx plus c. C is our integrating constant. So e power minus x square by 2 equal to q is 1, IF is e power minus x square by 2 plus c. What is our initial condition? Y of 0 is equal to 0. So put x is equal to 0 when at y is equal to 0. So when x is 0, y is also 0. Therefore, this equation 1 becomes y is 0 now. e power 0 is 1, integration of dx plus c we will get. We are having two types of analysis, that is local analysis and global analysis. So in local analysis we are having 0 to x. 0 is our initial condition, x is some neighborhood to this. So when x is 0, here the integral is between 0 to 0, therefore c is 0. Therefore our solution is y. I shift this to RHS, e power x square by 2, integral of 0 to x e power minus x square by 2. C is 0. So this is our local analysis. This comes under local analysis. Suppose for the same solution, if we consider large value of x, when x is large, this local analysis become global analysis. So I am taking x tends to infinity. So when x tends to infinity, this integration is between 0 to infinity. So what is integration of 0 to infinity e power minus x square by 2 into dx? This is our standard gamma function, which is equal to root pi by 2. So we will have solution as e power minus x square by 2 into root pi by 2. So we have noticed that the asymptotic expansion of the integral representation is important because most of the problems are expressed in terms of some function, special function. Suppose if we consider some other integral. So for example, if I consider an integration between 0 to 1 for sin xt by t as x tends to 0. So we know Taylor series expansion of sin x by t. So we can write I as integral of 0 to 1 by t is, this is with respect to dt. So 1 by t into differentiation of sin x is x into x cube by 3 factorial. Therefore x cube t cube by 3 factorial plus x power 5 t power 5 by 5 factorial etc. dt. When I multiply t inside, I will get integration between 0 to 1. T will get cancelled. X minus x cube t square by 3 factorial x power 5 t power 4 by 5 factorial etc. Now we can integrate this. Integration of x with respect to dt. X is constant, integration of dt is t. So we will get x t minus x cube, integration of t square is t cube by 3, x power 5, integration of t power 4 is t power 5 by 5 etc. Between the limit 0 to 1. When I substitute the limit t as 1, we will get x minus x cube by 3 into 3 factorial x power 5 by 5 into 5 factorial etc. T is 1. I have substituted t as 1. This is our upper limit, minus 0 is our lower limit. So this is as x tends to 0. When I take x common, I will get 1 minus x square by 3 into 3 factorial plus x power 4 by 5 into 5 factorial etc. as x tends to 0. This series is a convergent series whenever x tends to 0. If I consider some other example, suppose if my I is 0 to x t power minus 1 by 2 e power minus t dt as x tends to 0. We know the expansion for e power x also. What is our expansion for e power x? T power minus 1 by 2 remains as it is. Expansion for e power x is 1 plus x. X is minus t. Plus t square by 2 minus t cube by 3 factorial etc. into dt. So I will multiply inside. When I multiply here, I will get t power minus half. T into minus t power minus half is t power plus half. So multiply this two term. I will get t power 3 by 2 by 2 factorial minus t power 5 by 2 by 3 factorial etc. So this series is convergent for all t and except t is 0. Whenever t is 0, the series is divergent. So when we integrate this, we will get an asymptotic expansion for the given problem. So when we integrate this, integration of t power minus 1 by 2 is t power minus 1 by 2 plus 1. So it is t power 1 by 2 by 1 by 2. Similarly here t power 3 by 2 by 3 by 2. T power 5 by 2 by 5 by 2 into 2 factorial minus t power 7 by 2 by 7 by 2 into 3 into 2. So when we substitute the limit, we will get the solution as 1 by 2 becomes 2 x power 1 by 2 minus 2 by 3 x power 3 by 2 plus x 5 by 2 by 5, 2 will get cancelled, minus x power 7 by 2, 2 get cancelled, 21 etc. as x tends to 0. Suppose if we consider an integral as x to infinity e power minus t power 4 dt as x tends to 0. If we consider an integral e power minus t power 4 into dt as x tends to infinity. Similarly, if we expand it using exponential formula, we will get x to infinity t minus 1 minus t power 4 plus square of this is t power 8 by 2 factorial minus cube of that is 12 by 3 factorial etc. When we integrate this, we will get t minus t power 5 by 5 plus t power 9 by 9 into 2 t power 13 by 13 into 6 between x to infinity. This value tends to infinity for all x tends to infinity. So it has become a divergent series. For the same solution, if we split the integral as, we can split integral x to infinity as x to 0, the terms, plus 0 to infinity. So whenever we have 0 to infinity, e power minus t power 4 into dt, this is our gamma function. So using gamma function, we will get this value as gamma of 1 by 4. So how to find gamma function of this? Gamma formula is 0 to infinity e power minus z, z power n minus 1 dz equal to gamma of n. So substitute t power 4 as z and to find dt, we will get this term. So this value will be gamma of 1 by 4. So this integration is between 0 to x. When we substitute 0 to x here, upper limit get cancelled, we will get lower limit. Therefore, the solution of this will become gamma of 1 by 4, which is from this value minus x plus x power 5 by 5 minus x power 9 by 18 plus x power 13 by 78, etc. This is from first integral as x tends to 0. This converges for all values of x. So the same integral, when we integrate directly, this is divergent. When we split the integral, this solution exists for all values of x tends to 0. So from these examples, we can conclude that the power series for a function f of x. See, we are getting some series solutions. The power series for a function f of x, so about a point x0, converges pointwise to f of x. Using this, we are going to define what is asymptotic function or asymptotic expansion. That we will see in our next video.